Okay, this is Wario7793, and I haven't really been posting much lately on YouTube. I apologize to everybody, all my subscribers and friends. I just thought I'd let you know a little bit about what's going on with me, and then I go ahead and showcase some of the last of my Star Wars collection. I'm going to kind of wind down a bit. I've seen some wonderful collections on YouTube and some other channels. What I have here represents probably the most cherished part of my collection, or what's left of it, which still is a lot. I didn't really get rid of that much. What these are, they're what's known as VOTC figures, or Vintage Original Trilogy Collection. These are packaged the same way as the original vintage action figures, or that's what they're known now, which came out from 1978 to 1987 from the Kenner Company. And if any of you are old enough to remember collecting these originally, like I do, the packages were wonderful. Even though the figures looked very simple back then, they weren't as articulated as these newer ones are, or as detailed. They were colorful and they were rather neat. I'm going to represent, this is all the ones I have so far. I'm going to collect a few more of these, and then I'm going to stop my collection completely. These are from the original Star Wars A New Hope collection, and I think I have all of these, but I'm not sure. There may be new ones that come out. We have here the original Luke and Ben Kenobi, the Tusken Raider, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Greedo, and Luke X-Wing. And from what I know, the figures are posed and molded a certain way, so you can actually pose them to look just like the way they're set up on the pictures on the packaging. Let's see if we can get this so they can kind of see it here. They're very nicely detailed. Very well. This one's a little rough. He's a little simple, but not too bad. Some of these got better as they went along, and this one's a very simple one too. This one, some of them kind of look like the actual characters. I still think this guy looks like Bill Pullman, but that's my opinion. I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'll set out the Empire Strikes Back collection and also the Return of the Jedi collection. Okay, these are the VOTC figures from the Empire Strikes Back. We have the this is the newest one right here. This guy right here. I'll hold him up here so you can kind of see him. He's called the Twin Pod Cloud Car Pilot from the Empire Strikes Back. For some weird reason, they gave him a mustache. I don't know if you can see that or not. The guy picture doesn't have a mustache, so it might have been the other guy that was in the ship. I don't know. This is 3PO. Now, I'm not too happy with this particular figure. The packaging looks pretty good, even though I wish it just said Star Wars on it. But the action figure is not the shiny one that they had in the vintage collection. If you notice, he's kind of dull looking. Let's see if we get the glare off of him there. He looks just like he did on Tatooine when he was all scratched up and scuffed and everything. Which, yeah, is true, but it ain't the best look for him. But I'll go ahead and give it. I mean, this is the only version they have of this. I also have another version of him, but it's one of the newer figures from Return of the Jedi that's much better. Here's Yoda. He looks pretty okay. It's pretty much like he's supposed to. The rest of these are all from the Empire Strikes Back line, originally, except for Darth Vader. Even though they had versions of him out like that, but he was originally from Star Wars. This is Vader, and I have Bosk, one of the bounty hunters. He's very nicely detailed. I like this guy. Some of these started getting kind of expensive, but I picked them up as quick as I could last year, and I'm going to get a couple more. Here's a IG-88. Again, another bounty hunter. This is what he looks like, and he's pretty he's nicely detailed, but I don't think he has much articulation. But then again, he didn't in the movies either, so I guess it doesn't matter. And then I just dropped one here. Let me see if I can pick him up. This is the Snowtrooper. Now, I did actually get one of these, and before, but the packaging was damaged, so I opened them up, and I found an interesting surprise here. Let me take a small break here. I'll go get the loose version of this and show you what I mean. Okay, Alright, we're back here again. There's that snowtrooper from Empire Strikes Back, a carded one. He's brand new. This is what he looks like as a vintage figure, or I'm sorry, loose figure. Same figure. See if we can back away here so you can see him. Nicely detailed. He's pretty articulate and all that. His helmet does come off, and I didn't expect this, but take a look at who he is. You recognize the guy underneath? It's one of the clones from episode 2 and 3, when they don't have their helmets on, or a clone of Jango Fett. I thought this was so neat. I didn't expect that, but that's a nice surprise. It kind of makes sense. I figured in their storyline the clones would have been phased out by this time, by the time Empire Strikes Back came along, since it was quite a few years later. But yeah, I guess maybe there were some more generations of them still around. The storyline, I guess, goes that they started hiring other non-clone humans to serve as servants of the Empire, the stormtroopers and so forth. You saw a lot of the commanders and death squad commanders and officers and so forth that didn't have helmets on. They didn't look anything like Jango Fett. They were just other people. I'll go ahead and wrap up, and I'll bring up the Return of the Jedi collection. Okay, this is the Return of the Jedi collection. They have the original Stormtrooper, which originally came out in Star Wars, but there were 3 versions of these. All had different different labels on them for which movie they came out with. This is the R2-D2 from the Empire Strikes Back collection, but he's labeled as Return of the Jedi. So, and they did have versions of that back then. This is Boba Fett, which again came from Empire Strikes Back. Again, there were versions of him that came out later. We have the original Chewbacca. Again, he was from Star Wars, A New Hope. But there were versions of him that came out later too, so that kind of represents that. Now this guy is from Return of the Jedi, the Biker Scout. He's actually very nicely detailed compared to some of the ones that have been coming out recently. Were kind of posed so they would sit on the bike only, and otherwise they wouldn't stand very well. This guy is actually nicely set up and detailed, so he'll stand properly, and I imagine he'll pose just like that. I don't have this guy loose, I'm afraid. I don't have very many of these loose anymore. But he'll probably pose just like that. I think it shows, yeah, it shows a picture of him. You can kind of see it there as a loose figure, but they don't really show whether he can pose like he does in the picture there, like they're supposed to do. We'll just have to guess. If anybody here knows if anybody's got a loose version of this guy and can pose him the way it shows him in the picture there, you can go ahead and reply. I'd really like to know. Well, this is Wario77393. I'm going to go ahead and kind of wrap this up here. I also want to let you know I do have a new girlfriend. I met her this summer. Spent a lot of time with her this summer, and she's going through some rough times right now, kind of catching up with things. But what does she think of all these toys that I've collected? She collects a lot of the same stuff, so she absolutely loves these. Her family is really into Star Wars, just like I am. She collects a lot of the same neat knickknacks and stuff I do, and to kind of help her out, we've been going around to a lot of the local knickknack shops, and whenever she sees something she wants to get, if it's a buck or two, hey, being a good boyfriend, I just go ahead and get it for her. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up, and hopefully I'll be making new videos pretty soon. And thanks for watching.